I'm really delighted to be here with Jessa Rhodes. Jessa, welcome to Australia. How are you?
I'm fantastic. This is my first time here, and I couldn't be more thrilled.
Hey, I was really thrilled when Brett told me that you've been involved with some UFC promotion too.
You know.
How cool is that? What was it like?
The Paige Van Zandt, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
No, I do get that a lot though. I do get
bet.
that a lot.
But you're an absolutely gorgeous lady, having a lot of fun. How could you possibly imagine that this sort of life could await you? Because you're famous around the world and in an industry that no longer has the stigma of what you used to have.
You know, it's honestly, it's a blessing. I didn't wake up one day and decide I was going to do this. It's kind of one of those progressional things. You know, I started as a dancer and realized that I was a sexual person, and just kind of at the right time someone approached me about being in the industry, and it's great to live in a day and age where, like you said, that stigma isn't attached to it anymore. You know, when people think, I mean, sure, there's some people out there that are like, oh, porn stars, but being a porn star is so mainstream these days, and you know, you get to do cool things like this and travel all over the world and meet interesting people, and it's very cool. The relationship that I have with my fans is pretty awesome. You know, it's nice to know that, you know, they come up and they're excited to meet you, and it's not, you know, like you said, that stigma is no longer attached to it, you know, so it's been a blessing. It's been an awesome career so far.
Oh, it's brilliant. Everyone knows that there's a downside to every industry. How have you gone with the super attention you get, the mad guys, the stalkers, and how do you cope with that sort of stuff?
You know, I've learned, like, social media can be a very powerful tool, but it can also be your worst enemy. And there's been some weird situations, like you said, some stalkers, some this, some that, and at the end of the day, we're all just people, so those people I kind of just tend to either avoid, or, you know, if someone's an asshole to me, I'm like, oh, thank you, have a nice day, you know, kill them with kindness. But honestly, I don't think I've really run into that many issues as far as that. You know, I feel like the biggest downside in the industry is just, it sucks when, like, say we have like a moratorium and everyone's a fan of you, and then all of a sudden that happens and they're like, ooh, you know, and it's things like that. And
they can be really fickle, hey?
Right, exactly. They love you one minute and then they're cursing your name the next, and it's like, the reality of that is no one gets AIDS. It doesn't happen. We get tested, so, like, for the last 5 years I've had a needle stuck in my arm every 14 days. You know, so I feel like that's probably like the worst thing I get on, you know, on Twitter and stuff, which is like, oh, you know, you're germ infested. I'm like, actually, I'm probably the safest person that you could ever have sex with.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
Holly, listen, there's a lot of young ladies who are growing up in a far more free society who are brave like you and putting themselves out. I mean, just in sending out lovely pictures of themselves in their selfies. What advice would you give a teenage girl who's as gorgeous as you, who wants attention but doesn't know how to deal with all the stalkers and the haters?
You know, I always say, like, when you put yourself in the limelight, you really have to be careful how much of yourself you give to other people. And as much as I love my fans and they're amazing, and I talk to them every day on social media, you also have to make sure to leave pieces for yourself and not to put everything out there, because eventually you're going to be drained. And it's one of those things that, honestly, I look at, like, Instagram models and I'm like, I don't know how you do it. It's like pulling teeth to get me to post on Instagram these days, and I'm recognizing that the importance of it. But when I see people posting, you know, 5-6 pictures a day, I'm like, that's so, like, it's just, you're giving too much. You know, you really kind of, you have to be, you know, consistent yet, you know, careful of how much content you're putting out there all the time, because it can really, social media can start to destroy you. And that's the other thing too, is like, young girls these days, they're looking at these pictures of these women and they're not realistic, they're filtered, they're this, they're that, they're photoshopped. Like, even I get down on myself, you know, and people are like, oh, how can you? And I'm like, trust me, I have very insecure moments, and it's hard being in an industry where you're from head to toe exposed all the time. You know, a lot of models don't have to deal with that, so I feel like, you know, if you could take advice from anybody, it's me. Just remember, it's not realistic, and just be yourself and eat happy, eat healthy, be happy, and just do what you can for yourself, and don't let the haters bother you. Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone. I've been called a tranny, I've been called fat, I've been called, like, every name in the book, and at the end of the day, you just have to smile and wave. So that's my best advice. You know, we're growing up in an age where women are scrutinized every day, and especially online, where people are keyboard warriors and they can say whatever the fuck they want. Pardon my French.
No, that's cool.
But you know what I mean? So it's you know, female empowerment. You go, girl.
I love it, man. That was so good.
Thank you,
That was
sweetheart.
really
I appreciate it.
I'm a journalist online. I work with a lot of activism and women's rights. I work with women, some of them are gorgeous in their work, and I hate the stuff I get from some guys online. It's just heartbreaking.
It's ridiculous. I've gotten so much, and it's just so funny to me. Actually, I screenshotted the other day, and usually I'll just delete on Instagram. I'll just go through, delete, and block people. It's that simple. You don't exist in my world, and I've learned that that's, the more negative you feed to the negative by responding, that's all you're gonna get back.
You've got to know you've got control and use it, hey?
Exactly. So it's
Go, girl.
Thank you. You have to remember, at the end of the day, we're all beautiful. We all bleed the same. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. You can find beauty in every single person. And it's hard when you have someone that's, you have to look at it like this. Like, one of my fans started responding to this guy that was just being such a dick. Like, I'm talking paragraphs of just what a piece of shit I was.
Yeah.
And just comment after comment after comment. And I just kept deleting him. And finally someone was like, dude, you're a nut job. And I was like, sweetie, don't even respond to him, because at the end of the day,
Don't feed the trolls.
no, and it's sad because that person is so sad with themselves that they have to project that onto other people. And so honestly, I really truly feel bad for you. That's not a fun place to be. So I hope that you find your happiness someday. That's all I can say.
Oh, brilliant. We'll see you online. We're so glad to have you in Perth.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. I'm gonna try to check out the couple jazz clubs that you got here. Was it Ellington's?
Ellington Jazz Club,
Yes.
you'll love it. Watch out, Ellington.
Yes, I'm gonna go kind of dance my way in there, and then Scarborough Beach, I've heard is it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love it. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm very excited. I get to actually do some sightseeing on this trip.
We
which
should get you over Rottnest Island. How long are you here for?
I'm here till Monday, super late Monday night. My flight is until 11:30 Monday. So
Wouldn't be able to fit that in. You're gonna come back to Perth. We'll take you to Rottnest, show you the little
I will,
pockets.
off the record.
Yeah.
Off the record.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
Okay.
I just started dating a guy who's actually from